Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. And now, celebrating 15 years of broadcasting, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, whether you're tuning in on the radio dial in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM or through WYADonline.com. We're glad you all could be with us. Also, those joining us through our online affiliates around the world, including Conversations Radio Network, we're glad you guys could be with us as well. I'm really excited to welcome Jasson Finney to our program today. Jasson is an individual who's been able to do what he loves as an actor as well as a celebrity trainer, but also, of course, to be able to see the response for his work. He's gearing up for a very big week for you guys who are joining us live. We're going to talk to him about an upcoming appearance on a very popular television show, but also about some other great things that Jasson is doing to not only be able, of course, to share his own passion, but also to inspire others. Jasson, hello to you and welcome to the program.
How you doing, Cyrus? Thanks so much for having me on. Appreciate it.
Hey, the pleasure is definitely all mine, man. So first of all, I want to start off by talking about, this year for you. I mean, already 2019 has been amazing for you, Jasson. I mean, what has it been like for you to kind of reflect on the highs in your career so far this year?
It's been fantastic. I mean, I ended 2018 on a high note by doing FBI, which is a CBS show. That was fantastic. And then right after that, I was very fortunate to get a whole bunch of new projects going. And one that I'm very pleased to announce, I want to talk about it right off the bat here, I'm going to be on NCIS New Orleans, guest starring, so that's going to be a fantastic ride. Can't wait to see it. It was an amazing experience to shoot there, and just looking forward to seeing what the work is going to produce.
Right. And I think that's it. I mean, you just said something, Jasson, I think, for everyone, no matter, I think, what their profession might be, it all boils down to the work. You have not been afraid to put in the work over the years. So do you see these opportunities, like you mentioned, even what you did in 2018 and already how this year is starting off, as a result of the work that you've been able to put in?
Yeah, it's all about the work. You just got to love what you do. And, no matter what it is you do, if you love what you do, it's not really work. It's just, putting your nose to the grindstone and trying to get better at what it is that you like to do. And hopefully, you get paid for doing it at the same time, and you can actually make a living doing something that you love as opposed to doing something that, you just have to do.
Right. And I think to the other side of that, even for you, Jasson, is that, like you said, I mean, like with the upcoming appearance on NCIS, New Orleans, being able to be a part of these talented casts, but also, of course, to be able to show other people what's possible. I mean, even when it comes to what you're able to do as a trainer, have you always been one of those people, Jasson, that's like to lead by example?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been someone who's led a healthy lifestyle. I played sports my whole life. I was involved in all kinds of different sports, from hockey was pretty much my main one. I played, baseball and soccer and all these other ones growing up. But I think the key to anything is discipline. No matter what it is you choose to do, if you want to get good at something, you got to be disciplined. You got to be committed to the long haul. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. There's no magic pill, potion, lotion that you can take that all of a sudden you're going to wake up one day and have everything that you dreamed of. You just got to make sure that you work at it on a daily basis and never give up. You're going to hit rocks in the roads. There's going to be boulders in the roads. There's going to be, times where you just want to just throw in the towel. And, that's what happens. It's called attrition. People drop out because they can't handle the day-to-day grind. And, people say, and it's funny because sometimes you get people that, you haven't seen before, and all of a sudden they're appearing in a movie, or they're an athlete, and they, they're called what is referred to as an overnight success in the mainstream, which is so far from the truth, because whatever overnight success they may be to, the public, they've been putting their nose to the grindstone for the last 10, 15, 20 years sometimes. And, they're finally reaping the rewards of all that work that they put into it. So I think the bottom line is just being committed to the things that you do, and, eventually the results come.
They do come. So when did you know for you that acting was that thing? We're going to get also into the training, but how did you know that acting was that thing that you wanted to do, Jasson?
I fell into acting, to be honest with you. I was training, and one of my clients was an agent, and she thought I had a look that might be something that could be marketable, and then we decided to give it a try. So my first ever audition was for X-Files, and I got a call back on it, which was really cool, and I had no idea what that meant. And then all of a sudden I'm standing in a room with Chris Carter and a whole bunch of other producers and the director, and I'm thinking, wow, this is this is something. I'm either going to have to get good at this or forget about it, because this is going to be if this is what the acting is all about, because it's two different animals. Auditioning and actually being on a set are two completely different animals, and you got to master one in order to get to the other. And there's no such thing really as mastering. It's just really being able to perform at your best and hope that what you're doing is something that is the vision of the director or the producer, so that then later on they can say, yeah, this is the person we want, for the role. But I just fell into it, and I couldn't be more happy. I mean, performance is just something that I enjoy doing, because prior to that, I was a musician. I played, in rock bands over the years and toured and did all that fun stuff. So I guess performing is just in my blood.
And I noticed when I was prepping for this segment, we're going to give your website out a little bit later, Jasson, but one of the things I also noticed, of course, is that, you've been able to find success. We mentioned, of course, the television show coming up this Tuesday, but also in film. And then I think the other side of it as well for yourself, Jasson, is that you've been able to explore different avenues. Even I noticed, you're being fluent in different languages. Have you found that all of that work has also contributed to the roles you've been able to play, and also how far you're able to go so far?
Very much so. It really helps, especially in this time and how the world is so diverse and everything is just kind of meshed all together. The plots are always about diversity. And in fact, in NCIS New Orleans, I play a Russian character. So I got to speak some Russian in there, which is fantastic. And I'm very pleased, that my parents and my grandma, they taught me the languages when I was young. So I have that opportunity today to do these kinds of things. Because otherwise, again, it's all a question of doing something and doing it because you love doing it, and then seeing what happens in the long run. And for me, learning all these languages was just part of, growing up and part of who I was. I had no idea I was ever going to do them on camera and appear on TV doing them. But again, it's just a question of keeping up things that you love to do. I love to speak Ukrainian with my grandma. That allowed me to pick up Russian later on. And I went to French school because I grew up in a part of the country of Canada where everything's French. So I'm very grateful to have that ability to do it, because it gives me that diversity. It gives me that opportunity to branch off as much as possible.
I think that's it, and I think that, again, goes to the great things about what you've been able to do. I want to say, for those who are just tuning in, either on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. We're excited to welcome Jasson Finney to our program today. Jasson's an individual who's made a name for himself as an actor. We've been talking about that, but also as a celebrity trainer. And last year, you added another slash to your name, Jasson, and that being an author. How did that come about?
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so pleased with that. That's been a labor of love for many years. And, it was just a concept that I had come up with quite a while ago, and we tried different ways to get it going, first as a TV show years ago. And we came close, but unfortunately, getting something on air is not the easiest thing sometimes. But, it certainly didn't discourage me from keeping on. Like I said before, if you love doing something, just keep doing it and see. Eventually something's going to come from it, because, you certainly get benefits from reaping rewards from the work. Now, I just was very fortunate to find someone who loved the book and who had the ability to get it out to the public. And, we decided to take it the route of the publishing route as opposed to self-publishing. And I'm very pleased, Right now, we have a series of books. I have 2 more that are written and that are illustrated that are going to be released shortly. And I can't be more excited. And now I'm hoping that it'll turn into the TV show. So you kind of, have to skin a cat in different ways, depending on, which way the cat presents itself. In this way, it wasn't the TV show first, but hopefully the TV show will soon follow.
Yeah. Well, for those who are just now hearing about it, we're talking about the adventures of Captain Pump, the world's first fitness superhero. The book's available through our friends at Amazon.com. For those who are joining us via the podcast, you guys will find the link to Amazon to be able to get it for yourselves from there, both in print as well as a Kindle edition. I'll remind you of that a little bit later. One thing that struck me in your bio on Amazon when I was prepping for this segment with you, though, Jasson, goes to, I think, other aspects of what you've been able to do as a trainer. There it said in your bio that you were passionate about making a difference in people's lives. I picked up on that for this reason. You're in an industry that is not always known for thinking about other people. How important has it been for you to make this bigger than you and to look for ways that you can be able to use your platform to be able to help others?
Well, I think it's important to use your platform to make a difference for others. If you're given a platform where others could be influenced or have access to what it is that you're doing. And I've always wanted to help people, and I've been doing it ever since I was in pre-college, which is like 17 years old. And I love making a difference in people's lives and helping them live a healthier life. I feel that the children are a vulnerable group that need a lot of help and a lot of guidance, especially nowadays. And I'm very pleased to be able to at least do my part, to help kids pick healthy choices and learn habits that will carry on through a lifetime of health and wellness. That's why I wrote Captain Pump. Captain Pump is basically me. It's teaching kids, it's teaching people, it's making a difference in people's lives, and it's motivating them to become the best that they can be. Because sometimes people just need a little bit of encouragement. Everybody starts in the same place. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter how accomplished they are. They all started at the same place. They all had to put one foot in front of the other. Everybody had to lift the first weight. Everybody had to throw the first pitch. Everybody had to make the first shot. Everybody had to read the first book. And, from that perspective, we all have an opportunity to do incredible things. Just where do our passions lie, and where do we want to put our energy? That's really what the key is.
Well, I think the other side of it, too, is that, you show in the book, The Adventures of Captain Pump, that any of us can make a difference. The other character, of course, that we're able to meet, you mentioned, of course, being Captain Pump, we were able to meet George as well. I mean, do you want people to know through a character like George that any of us can be able to make a difference, no matter what our profession might be or how people may look at us, that all of us can be able to use what we have to be able to benefit others?
Right. George is the janitor of the elementary school. And my experience with my janitor growing up was that he was like the coolest guy in the school. He was the first one in, the last one out. He'd always be keeping an eye on us. He'd always be around if you needed something. If something was missing out of the gym or something was missing out of classrooms, you'd go see the janitor and he'd give it to you out of the supply room or whatever it may be. I have a fantastic memories of my janitor. And to me, sometimes the janitor is someone who just goes unnoticed. He's the one or she's the one who's inconspicuous and kind of, is the one who doesn't really get the gratification or any kind of the accolades that, they deserve. Not that they necessarily seek, but they certainly deserve. And, this book is for anybody who feels that way. Sometimes we feel like, we're the ones that are invisible or that nobody's noticing or that, nobody cares. And, this book is made for people like that. It's written for people like that want to, be seen and want to be heard, but think that, they're not. But if you do what you love and if you keep doing what you do and you forget about the idea of everybody else noticing, you will become noticed because you can't help but notice someone who's doing something that they love because there's going to be some kind of passion attached to that. And when there's passion attached to something, there's energy. And when there's energy, there's movement. And when there's movement, there's all kinds of wonderful, positive things that are generated from that. And people are attracted to that. People are attracted to others that exude positive energy and positive vibes. And that's what Captain Pump is all about.
Yeah. And again, that is a book that people can go ahead and add to their reading list today. Again, the title being The Adventures of Captain Pump, the world's first fitness superhero. And as I mentioned, for those joining us via the podcast, we'll make sure to post a link for you guys. So last thing I want to talk to you about, Jasson, is about the what's next. I think, for anyone who's achieved what you've achieved, and you've done so much that people will look at it and say, wow, I wish I could have done half of that. What is it that kind of keeps you motivated and looking forward to the next thing?
Oh, just, again, pursuing the things that I love. I love to help people. I love to train. I love to write. I love to act. I have my own projects that have been written that we're getting ready to go to camera with, which is really exciting, and I can't wait to get that going here this summer. We're going to continue releasing the Captain Pump books. I'm going into schools and helping educators learn how they can use my book to help kids and to use it as a learning tool. We're building a website which will become a fitness and learning portal for children, where kids can come there and learn all about different elements of living a fit and healthy life and taking care of the environment and the marine life and the forest life, all these wonderful aspects that, make for the beautiful life that we get to live. We're very fortunate to live in the part of the world where, for the most part, it's peaceful, and for the most part, we can do whatever we choose. And I think it's important to take care of that. And part of doing that is understanding how we can respect everything around us, including, the environment and all the people and the diverse ethnicities that live within our populations. And I think it's important that kids know that. And we're going to hope that this website will be something that teachers all over will want to use in their classrooms. So there's just so much going on. I'm very blessed. I believe that, when you wake up and you have a purpose, then, you definitely enjoy every aspect of being alive. And that's what I try and do. I try and enjoy every part of life. I try and make a difference every day. And if I can accomplish that, then at the end of it all, I'll be satisfied.
Again, everyone, Jasson Finney has been our guest. Great conversation with you, Jasson. We've been talking with him not only about his journey as an actor, but also as a celebrity trainer, and as we talked about in this last segment, as an author as well. Make sure you guys pick up the book that we referenced here, The Adventures of Captain Pump, the world's first fitness superhero, through our friends at Amazon.com. And as we talked about here, you can look for Jasson guest starring on NCIS New Orleans for wherever you might be. Jasson, how can our audience stay connected with you, man?
Well, I'm on Instagram at Jasson Finney, Jasson 2 S's. I can be reached at bodybyjason.com, and also you can reach me on Facebook as well.
Okay. Well, Jasson, congratulations to you again. Really appreciate this time, and looking forward to speaking with you again.
Thank you, Cyrus. Take care.
Okay, you do the same thing, Jasson, and we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. If you all came in late, you missed part of the conversation with Jasson, don't worry. Thanks to our online friends, you all can catch the replay right after we go off the air. The link is already available through our social media site, so head over to facebook.com/Cyrus Webb or go to twitter.com/Cyrus Webb. If you click on the link there, you can listen to the show completely for free and share with your friends from there too. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Make sure you take out time to enjoy some good music as well as a great book. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Let's make it a great one.